European Central Bank cuts interest rates for first time since 2019. Welcome to World Wrap, your global news snapshot for Thursday, June 5th, 2025. I'm here to bring you today's top stories fast and straight. Let's take you around the world in under 10 minutes. First up, the quick-fire global headlines. The European Central Bank has cut interest rates for the first time since 2019, lowering its key rate by 25 basis points. Pakistan's defense minister declares the 1972 Simla Agreement has lost its sanctity following recent Indian actions. OpenAI says it's taken down covert influence operations linked to China, Russia, Iran and others using its AI tools. And Côte d'Ivoire becomes the latest African nation to establish a national space agency, showing growing ambitions in space. Slight transition sound. Let's start in South Asia, where tensions are climbing. Pakistan's Defense Minister Khawaja Asif says the 1972 Simla Agreement, the backbone of India-Pakistan relations, has lost its sanctity. He's blaming India's recent suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty and what he calls unilateral moves. Meanwhile, Pakistan's delegation is in Washington briefing U.S. lawmakers about India's belligerent posture. Over in Southeast Asia, Singapore and Indonesia just wrapped up joint counter-terrorism drills with special forces simulating a hijacked LNG tanker. The Griffin Cacti exercise underscores just how closely these neighbors are working to keep vital shipping lanes secure. Now to East Asia, where Japan is looking to tighten oversight of foreign residents. Lawmakers are moving to make it tougher to convert driver's licenses and may raise tourist taxes, all in response to what they say are rising social and fiscal pressures. The breakdown of the Simla Agreement could change the way South Asia's two nuclear neighbors deal with each other and the world. In China, the foreign ministry is defending its export controls on rare earths, saying they're fair and standard practice. This follows news that Suzuki, a Japanese car maker, halted production over procurement delays. At the same time, Beijing is pushing back against possible new SEC rules in the US, calling on Washington to stop politicizing economic and trade issues. And on World Environment Day, China's highlighting its dominance in green tech, providing over 80% of global photovoltaic components and driving down costs for wind and solar. Bottom line, China's balancing control over vital resources with a push to lead the global green transition. The ripple effects are huge, from car makers to renewable energy projects worldwide. Across Africa, countries are looking to the stars, literally. Côte d'Ivoire just set up its own space agency, joining a growing club of African nations investing in space tech for development and security. Over in Senegal, the military and the National Space Agency signed a deal to boost cooperation, showing Africa's ambitions to be a player in the global space economy. In Oceania, Australia is encouraging Indonesia's military to use its training facilities more, aiming for deeper defense ties under a new cooperation agreement. And in the green economy, Australia's clean energy regulator reports a dip in voluntary carbon credit cancellations as buyers shift toward fewer but higher quality credits for their ESG goals. Moving to the Middle East, the US has vetoed a UN Security Council resolution demanding an immediate, unconditional and permanent ceasefire in Gaza. 14 members voted yes, only the US said no. Hours after, reports came in of another Israeli airstrike on Al-Ali Baptist Hospital in Gaza City. And from Washington, the Trump administration has issued a sweeping new travel ban targeting 12 countries, many in Africa and the Middle East. The move cites national security, but legal challenges are sure to follow. Slight transition. In Europe, the big news is the ECB's rate cut, the first since 2019. The bank says inflation will hit its 2% target next year, but it's not committing to a set path and will stay data-driven, meeting by meeting. The move comes as global economic uncertainty and trade tensions continue to weigh on the Eurozone. Slight transition. Down in Latin America, a new survey from Berkeley Research Group shows merger and acquisition disputes are set to surge, especially in Brazil and Mexico. With financial volatility high, investors are routing deals through US or other common law systems, showing a lack of faith in local courts. Slight transition. And in tech, OpenAI says it's shut down 10 covert influence operations using its tools for deceptive online campaigns, with ties to groups in China, Russia, Iran, and even a marketing company in the Philippines. Also, Apple announced its App Store ecosystem drove $1.3 trillion in developer billings and sales last year, with over 90% of those transactions commission-free for developers. That's World Wrap for Thursday, June 5th, 2025. Like, follow, and subscribe for your daily download of global news. I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same globe. Like and follow for tomorrow's World Wrap.